Hello, and welcome to the Tartan Topiary. I'm Mary, and I'd like to invite you into my library as we look at this week's book. Romantic English Homes, a celebration of timeless and charming English interiors, written by Robert O'Byrne, photography by Simon Brown. Robert O'Byrne is a writer and lecturer specializing in the fine and decorative arts. He is the author of more than a dozen books. He is a former journalist with the Irish Times and one of Ireland's best-known writers on architecture, fine art, and design. He is a former vice president of the Irish Georgian Society and is currently a trustee of the Apollo Foundation, which helps to promote preservation and further the advancement of education for the fine arts in Ireland. O'Byrne has written extensively on historic homes and their decor. Throughout the book are gathered a collection of some of England's most glorious properties, from stately country houses to a thatched farmhouse, all of which are enchanting and rich with history. In total, 14 homes are featured. They range from small to large, both old and new, but they all exude classic English style. These designs consist of a variety of styles and tastes, with a mix of patterns and prints, along with a multitude of textures and art. What makes these properties so alluring to modern eyes is both their romantic timelessness and their comfort, often consisting of many layers provided by decades of collecting and curating. Beginning with the English aristocracy, as they embarked on their grand tours during the 17th century, the passion for collecting has become a national trait. This is not only reflected in England's palaces and ancient manors, but also in more modest residences. In the introduction, Robert O'Byrne mentions the book A London Life, written by Henry James, published in 1888. This book follows an American as she becomes familiar with life in England. And he writes, "The room had a bright, sociable air, the air that Laura liked in so many English things. The well-worn carpets, crisp chintz fabric, bright wallpaper, and fresh flowers, wherever flowers could be put." This classic description gives an accurate impression of daily life in the 1880s and of English domestic style. If this aesthetic, along with its historical accuracy, is something that you appreciate, I think you will enjoy this book. I certainly did. Romantic English Homes, a celebration of timeless and charming English interiors, written by Robert O'Byrne, photography by Simon Brown. This book has 176 pages. It is published by Ryland, Peters and Small, and it originally retailed for $45. I thought it would be fun to visit another historic home this week. This is a home that originally belonged to George W. Dixon. It is located in New Bern, North Carolina, and it was built in the early 1830s. Dixon was a successful merchant and tailor. At the time he built the home, George and his wife, Antoinette, enjoyed an upper-middle-class lifestyle with their 3 children. This household was typical of a late 18th century urban dwelling in what was considered a large city at the time. When the home was restored in 1957, there was so much paint on this crown molding that it was barely visible. This lovely wallpaper is period appropriate, and it is a replica from a home located in New York that was built in the same year. By the end of the 1830s, New Bern declined economically, slipping from its position as the largest city in the state. It was also at this same time that Dixon lost his business due to a large fire. Records show that he mortgaged the house and its furnishings 4 times between 1833 and 1836. He eventually lost the house due to a foreclosure in 1839. With the invention of sewing machines, the need for tailors, like George Dixon, quickly declined. This was the primary reason he was unable to save the home. Some historians believe that this mahogany sideboard could have been original to the home. It was built in Edenton, North Carolina by Mr. James Borowitz. During the federal occupation of Newbern in 1864, the Dixon House served as a hospital for the 9th Vermont Infantry, and this dining room was used for surgical care. This home is federal in style, with some Greek Revival features, and it is a great example of the popular side hall plan that was built during the time. Originally, it was 2.5 stories in height. The house received a 2-story addition in the east elevation during the 19th century. Most of the clocks in the home were manufactured by Eli Terry. Eli Terry was an inventor and a clockmaker from Connecticut. He received a United States patent in 1797 for a clock mechanism, and with this patent, he was able to introduce mass production to the art of clockmaking, which made these clocks affordable to the average citizen. This door still has its original full-grain painted finish, surviving from the late 1800s.
Probably set up for Hannah, the little daughter, because it's a little fancy. Most likely the boys would be, we're not sure as to, they may have.
It's a big bedroom.
They are big.
Mm-hmm.
Now there is a door that goes into a rather nice bathroom back
Right
there.
there, okay.
Yeah, but that was added by the city.
Like a little piece that sticks out the
Yeah,
back.
that is not been in the house.
Interesting.
There's a little bathroom under there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's the bathroom.
Thank you so much for watching, and thanks for touring the George W. Dixon home with us. I will leave more information in the description of this video. I hope you will join me next week as we look at The Summer House, written by Jackie Conry.